Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Nintendo Switch June the 9th until Friday the 13th. Ooh. Again, it's a little bit quiet this week, most companies rightly avoiding the Nintendo Switch 2 launch window, so it's going to be a brief episode, but let's see what we've got. Gal Guardian Servants of the Dark is releasing this week in the West, finally. It feels like it's been an eternity since the game was hyped during its digital release. The original game was a bit like a classic Castlevania game, quite linear, but this sequel has gone Metroidvania, which some people liked, some people didn't like, but one can agree it is indie creates going back to their comfort zone. You can always rely on them having a solid, put together Metroidvania of some kind, and it's also going to be available on PS5. And my executive producers, Super Benjulio, Cartoon Soren, Adamantium, Louis K, Jeddah Crow, Ethan Blue, Kava Kava Claw, Michael Del Polito, Dave Huswaite, and Vast Neon have chosen this as their pick of the week. That'll give you an indication of what's to come. Seven Scarlet is releasing in Europe this week. It's already out in North America, and I cannot for the life of me remember if I talked about that release or not. For some reason, it may have slipped me by or left zero impression on my increasingly forgetful brain. Anyways, it's another Otome from Axis Games. This is supposed to be a suspenseful mystery drama as the main protagonist tries to track down her missing brother and date handsome dudes at the same time, as you do. And my executive producers, Sora Katz and Danielle O, have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want any of those games, or any video game in general, then please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comment. That massively helps me and this series, this channel, to keep producing useful physical content for you guys. VGP are a really nice company with good prices in cheap Canadian money and free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, which is like 53 American dollars these days. And as always, if you do purchase something via my link, then each week you are put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. But if you remember, last week, due to the Nintendo Switch 2's release, I thought, you know what, let's celebrate it, and this week I will choose 5 winners. So, yes, 5 winners. We've got Kieran R, Lashima B, Hunter C, Jason A, and Peter V. Congratulations to all 5 of you, and thank you so much for your support. You should get an email from VGP if you haven't already with your discount coupon. Alright, let's jump into the low print limited-ish releases. The Toaplan Arcade Collection Volumes 1 and 2 are 2 separate releases that limited run are opening pre-orders for this week. These each contain 8 games from Toaplan's arcade past. Now there is a bit of crossover with some previous releases, like you're getting the arcade versions of Tiger Heli, Fire Shark, Batsugun, Zero Wing, which you may be aware have been released on other collections before. Those collections were more in-depth with various versions of the games with, console editions too, where I would consider these a more bare bones release, but, just full of the bangers, the essentials. It is worth noting that while these are at limited run in North America, Europe is getting them at retail via Clear River Games, and Japan is getting one at retail too. And it's also going to be available on PS5. And my executive producers, Alex M, Ishin, Robotech, Dave Horworth, Radio to Rancid, Instacritic, Murphy, and Wixit have chosen this as their pick of the week. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds Collector's Edition is up for pre-order right now at Limited Run Games. Do not worry, the standard version is at retail, but Limited Run have a $250 Collector's Edition to waste your money on. And to be fair, well played to Limited Run. If there is one fan base that masochistically is willing to be bent over, it's the Sonic fan base. You get a lot of stuff in this edition, to be fair, and the game itself is releasing at the end of September. Fingers crossed it is at least on equal level to Racing Transformed, which is the pinnacle of the series and is still a fantastic game. And yeah, this will be available also on PS4, PS5 and Xbox, and my executive producers, Dane Wilkinson and Azrith, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Mostly for the retail version, I would guess. Alright, the imports. Yes, we're heading straight to Japan already. If you want to get these games, you can order them from PlayAsia and get 5% off with the code Jordan2025. And yes, those are linked below too. Irem Collection Volume 3 is releasing in Japan this week. With only 3 games compared to the Toaplan releases I just mentioned, these volumes always seem quite meager in comparison. Prior to playing these, I'm always against them, but then after release, I tend to be on board. They somehow win me over. They get me in their grips. And this volume in particular looks especially interesting to me since I've not played any of them before, but they do look really sweet. It includes Mr. Heli / Battlecopter, Mystic Riders, and Dragon Breed. I am hoping to have a video about this package later this week if I can. And you may remember Strictly Limited Games also took pre-orders for this, but have yet to produce even Volume 1, so who knows if or when this one will appear. It's coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, also on PlayStation 5. And my executive producers, the Nemo 6, Vey, and Nerdy Sean have chosen this as their pick of the week. Virtual Girl at World's End is also releasing in Japan this week, and this is a visual novel, a brand new one to the world, so there's no actual opinions or reviews about it, but going from the description, it sounds pretty interesting. It's in a near-future Tokyo. It's becoming a dystopia where many girls need to resort to live streaming to make ends meet, but they're also ranked and judged by the public. It's just basically modern-day stuff already. It's developed by Headlock, who do not have a visual novel under their belt prior to this one, and I checked the people who are working on it, and they don't either. So it's their debut, and we'll have to see how it goes. It's coming in a standard and limited edition, which has a soundtrack CD and body pillow. And my executive producers, Ghost Bune, G Bautista 100, Brent McLean, Kevin W, D's Nuts, and Surfacing for Air have chosen this as their pick of the week. Asia is also getting these releases. The Snow Bros Special, we kind of have this in the West already, however this Anniversary Edition I believe comes with a download code for like DLC stuff. Paper Ghost Stories, the Third Eye Open, that is going to get a European physical release. If it hasn't already, I can't remember. There's too many games to remember these days. And Wonder Fortune, no, there's no English on that one. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight, and let's just say it was very heavy on the Nintendo Switch 2, which is great, but I don't have much to offer in terms of input. I mean, it's great, I'm jealous, I wish mine was here, it's not here. I don't really have much else to say other than that right now. So this week, I'm just gonna do a massive roundup of all the pictures sent in, even for my executive producers. I mean, normally I give them priority to have the, a proper narrative thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this week, everything is going to be a roundup, even for the non-Switch 2 stuff, because I've got 50 photos to get through, okay? Next week, it will be more standard, more normal, okay? So here's the community spotlight, going in order of file size, the biggest file size to the lowest file size in terms of the picture. I do that sometimes. McLaren, D's Nuts, Cartoon Soren, Daniel C, Rose, Sake Dub, Ken P, Andrew R, Mad Hawk 110, Jesse F, Bunny Bear, Bent S, Dead Bunnies, Super Ben Julio, Apple Sin, Radio to Rancid, Truffless, Red Rose Reaper, Devil Angel, Ishin, Twiggy, Vast Neon, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Starvey, Stefan N, Rainbow Pickle Gaming, Yum Yum Game, Adamantium, Cultured Weeb, Elissa, Vay, Needless Dragon, Max1216, Clara S, Cresalac, Lewis K, Remy X, Mickey McFlynn, Shiggy, Instacritic, Ghost Bune, Skip to the End. Don't skip to the end, it's their name. We're almost at the end though. Surfacing for Air, Choco Loco James, Dave Horworth, The One, The Enemy Parasite, Lost Dummy. How do you feel being the lowest file size, Lost Dummy? And there we have it, all of the pictures sent in this week. Man, what a marathon that was. Next week, I'm hoping will be a bit more normal, but to be honest, it's nice having a shorter episode. I can focus on some other stuff rather than dedicating my entire weekend to this video. So yeah, if you want to send in pictures, the details are on the screen, or they've probably been on the screen already and you've missed it. Anyway, special thanks as always to my ever increasing amount of executive producers. I don't know why they do it. Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Thorn Metaluna, Issa, Vay, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Husway Hallworth, Wixit, Sora Cat, The Nemo 6, Ghost Bune, G Bautista 100, Rose, Adamantium, Azrath, Jake Vav, Ethan Blue, D's Nuts, Jeddah Crow, Brotorius, Surfacing for Air, Justin PDC, Vast Neon, Cookie Kid, Radio to Rancid, Danielle O, Switch Effect, Murphy, Kava Kava Claw, Nerdy Sean, Ligma, and Michael Del Polito. Thank you so much, especially the new producers. I don't know what's going on, guys, but if you want to join them, the Patreon link is down below. It's the Let's Get Physical producer role. It's the last one, and it's, I don't know. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic week, and enjoy some of my content that I've got for you this week. Take care.